Hello and welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. In this episode, we're going to be speaking about the Arsenal and England goalkeeper, AARON Ramsdale. A lot of people have requested this one, so here we go. But before we get into this episode, as always, we need to do some shout-outs and read out some messages. And the first one goes to Seb, and it reads, "Hi Darren, I'm Seb, aged 8 from Bristol. Can you send a shout-out to Harry, Josh and Ruben? And can you do a podcast on Anthony Evans or Bristol Rovers or Joey Barton?" Well, thank you very much for your message and your request ideas, Seb. And hello to all of your footballing mates, and good luck to Bristol Rovers against Lincoln this weekend. I'm sure you're looking forward to that one. And the next one is for Alex McBurney, who is a massive Nottingham Forest fan. He also plays for his local football team, West Bridgford Colts under-7s. Alex has very kindly written me a handwritten letter letting me know he's a Forest fan and that he would like an episode on Nottingham Forest, and his favourite episode was the Real Madrid episode. Well, thank you very much for your letter, Alex, and thank you for being a listener. I really appreciate it. I've added your request to the list, and I wanted to give a big shout out to you and everyone at your club. The next one is to Xavier. It says, "Hi, my name is Xavier and I'm 10 and I'm from Victoria, Melbourne in Australia. I'm a Melbourne City fan, so please could you make an episode about Jamie McLaren or the Melbourne Derby, or just a team in general? I would be thankful if you did." Well, thank you very much for your message, Xavier, and thanks for your request. I've added yours to the list as well. And the last shout on this episode goes to Ryan, who's age 6 and he listens to the podcast every night. Ryan lives beside a graveyard in Dublin and he plays for a team called Glasnevin FC. I hope I've got the pronunciation right on that. And they're called the Diggers. Ryan's favourite episode so far is the Merseyside Derby because he's a big Liverpool fan. And, get this, he's off to Anfield in March. So Ryan, I hope you have a brilliant day at Anfield and you really enjoy yourself. Ryan wants me to do an episode on Mo Salah. I've had a few requests for Mo Salah, so we need to do that one soon. And he calls him the Egyptian King. Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, I've got to agree with you on that one. If you want to send a request in, a shout out to your football team or your football teammates, you can ask an adult to send an email to footballforkidspodcast@gmail.com. The email address is in the description of the podcast, so it can be easily copied. If I haven't got round to your message yet, don't worry, I will do in the next few weeks. I've had so many recently, and I want to get through every single one of them. Right then, let's get into this episode. The episode on the excellent Arsenal and England goalkeeper, AARON Ramsdale. AARON Ramsdale was born in a place called Stoke-on-Trent, and he began his footballing career at a grassroots club called Marsh Town. And when he was at Marsh Town, the goalkeeping coach, a man called Fred Barber, took him for a trial at Bolton Wanderers. Bolton were pretty impressed with Ramsdale and they ended up signing him to the club. After being a part of a youth team at Bolton Wanderers, AARON Ramsdale joined Sheffield United. He made his professional debut in the FA Cup against Leyton Orient, where Sheffield won a whopping great 6-0 and AARON kept a clean sheet. That is always a good outcome for a goalkeeper. After over 3 years at Sheffield United, AARON headed down south to the south coast where he joined Bournemouth. And he made his Premier League debut for Bournemouth at the start of 2019. What an amazing achievement for such a young goalkeeper. In 2019, Ramsdale started to become Bournemouth's #1 choice goalkeeper. In the year of 2019, Ramsdale was on fire. He was named Player of the Month in October. He was keeping clean sheets galore, winning Man of the Match, which isn't that common for a goalkeeper to win. And that year, the supporters of the club named him the Player of the Year. Whilst Ramsdale was at Bournemouth, he did spend some time on loan at both Chesterfield and at Wimbledon. Aaron only spent a season at Sheffield the second time round, but it didn't stop him achieving over and over again, as he was named both the Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. Aaron had really established himself as a fantastic goalkeeper and somebody that the big dogs of the football world were now very interested in. Aaron Ramsdale was on a mission to be one of the country's best goalkeepers, and at this point, he was the Player of the Year in the last 3 seasons. He played against top clubs like Arsenal, and he said that he remembers playing against Arsenal at the Emirates and walking out onto the pitch and thinking, wow, imagine if this was your home ground. Well, in August 2021, Aaron was signed to the North London club Arsenal, and his debut for Arsenal could not have gone better. Arsenal hammered West Bromwich Albion 6-0, and Aaron Ramsdale kept a clean sheet on his Gunners debut. Although this was a good result for the Gunners and for his debut of Arsenal, it must have touched some feelings, as Aaron has always had a soft spot and been a bit of a fan of West Bromwich Albion. Aaron continued to have a run of clean sheets for Arsenal until the North London derby against Spurs, where he had 1 goal put past him, but Arsenal still managed to win that derby 3-1. Ramsdale has had some serious praise from some serious players. There was a free kick which Leicester took against Arsenal a few years ago, and one of the greatest saves of that season was made by Aaron Ramsdale. A goalkeeper who you may have heard of, called Peter Schmeichel, who is probably one of the greatest keepers of all time, said after that game against Leicester, wow, Ramsdale made one of the best saves today that I have seen in years and years and years. And when somebody like Peter Schmeichel says that about you, you take that as a good thing. Ramsdale has done things the tough way. He's played in League 2, League 1, the Championship, and now he's the number 1 goalkeeper for one of the top teams in the Premier League. And in this season, in 2023, Arsenal may well win the Premier League. And Ramsdale could be a part of a Premier League winning squad. Not only has Aaron Ramsdale been there and done it across the English League and in one of the best leagues in the world, but at such a young age, he has represented his country. He has played a good few games for the England senior team already, and he said that the manager, Gareth Southgate, is one of the best man managers he has ever played for. He said Gareth doesn't speak to you like a player, he speaks to you like a human, and he makes you feel welcome. Aaron has represented his country since the under-18s and has been a huge part of the England squad, both on and off the pitch. And at just 24 years old, he has achieved a phenomenal amount and is an inspiration to boys and girls and adults up and down the country and around the world. Let's finish with some nicknames, because in football there's some great ones. And across the clubs which Aaron Ramsdale has played at, and for his country, he's picked up some corkers. Some of his teammates call him Boris, Rambo, and when he was at Sheffield United, he was called Lizard, because he always had his tongue out, especially when he was trying to concentrate. I hope that you've enjoyed listening and learning about the career so far of the brilliant Aaron Ramsdale. One day, we'll need to do a part 2, because he will undoubtedly have a fantastic future both with Arsenal and England. So remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about Football for Kids. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly or pitch side, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.